Man of Steel #4, Brian Michael Bendis writing, Kevin Maguire on the art, and of course the now accustomed page or two by Fabric in the middle somewhere. That's the so we know who was in the head thing. Before we get to the main story, let's talk about the John and Lois scene. Yes.
And it makes so much sense, and I'm mad that we didn't figure it out sooner.
Yes. Well, here's the thing why I never considered it is I think everyone came out of this so worried that the Bendis was going to only care about like the past of Superman and not the recent history, that we never thought he was going to reference, because the end of the book uses the supernova, right, from New 52.
Yeah.
And the person in the big ship head thing is Jor-El, post Mr. Oz. Is that Jor-El?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, Bendis is using this stuff? I did not see that coming.
And it makes so much sense to where we had last seen him in that with that was Jurgens, that was Action Comics.
Yeah.
So how he wanted to take John and Lois to this Earth where they could be, you know, exceptional and whatnot. So, and it makes sense for them. That's where they are. That's where I'm going to assume.
For now, yeah. I mean, I guess the simplest explanation now, just predicting what the next 2 issues are going to tell us, is that he knows something bad's coming, and he convinces Clark that they should go away for safety. Like that'd be my guess right now, but I mean, we'll see how it goes.
The creepiest Rogolzar has been is when he asked Superman if he has any kids, and if he
I know.
Mated with the soft Earth people.
I think the word he used, which made it even worse, was have you procreated with these humans?
Yeah,
that was the sentence.
Oh man, it sent a shiver down my spine, and I was just
especially since, as he's saying it, he comes out of the shadows behind him in the destroyed fortress. Yeah, it's a really good moment, because this is the action issue, the Action 1000 story that he did. Is kind of in the middle of this one. We have Superman and Supergirl fighting Rogolzar, and I loved the narration here because it was kind of like, you know, who is it says that told him this? Who was the Justice League member that gave him the advice?
Green Lantern.
There you go.
He pops in.
No. Before that, when in his narration, he's saying that someone told him that if something hits you this hard and fast, he's counting on emotion.
Let me look that up, because
it was early on in the book. It was like page 3 or something like that.
Because, you know, usually I like to save this for last, but this week I was out of town. Oh, so I read this as soon as I could download it. And
how you do?
Yeah. So I read it super early. Let me find this.
But no, I like that, like, because there was another point in the book as well. Like, later on in the fight, it was like he was using all of his friends' like advice. Because later on, he's like, "Okay, let's play Batman," and he starts analyzing what he's doing and why he's doing it, and it feels like he's being detective-y. I like that. It felt like he was like taking like just, you know, lessons that he's learned from his teammates here or there. I really like that aspect of it, and you know, I dig it because you knew that the Action 1000 stuff happened, because he gets thrown into the building, he gets knocked out, and when he wakes up, Maggie Sawyer's there, and the 2 waitresses who were like, in that issue, like, you know, asking questions. Hal's there. Hal's like sort of cleaning up the debris, and he's helping him out and stuff.
It was Cyborg, by the way.
There you go. That was the one. I knew it was a Justice League member. Yes. I can't remember which one.
There you go. But yeah, but no, yeah, the action, as you were saying, like, it's cool. Like, there's that scene where they're fighting, and Zar cuts off the antenna tower, and it falls through the building, and that lady's just working.
Yeah,
and falls back through the window, and he goes and catches her.
But the best part of that, I thought, was the fact that in the page before that, you see her working at her desk. Like, it establishes her there at the window. It's kind of like a scene in a movie where it's, you see like innocent bystander doing their thing first, and then the next page you see the crazy thing happen that puts them in danger.
And you see him look, or you see Superman look, and this is something I've always wanted in a Superman comic, where the villain knows Superman's going to stop and attend to the city. And that's where he has his edge. But no, this like, again, every issue I feel like Superman's in great hands with Bendis. Like, I feel like Bendis has waited forever to be able to tell a Superman story that's just basic. Like, he's not doing anything tricky. He's just writing Superman. And like you said earlier, with using the recent history stuff with Mr. Oz, Jor-El, and the supernova, which I totally forgot the supernova was a thing, like, until this issue. And that moment is so good.
Yeah, because obviously the fortress is already wrecked, and he says to Rogol he was going to call someone. I assume he meant Lois and John. Like, he was going to call them with, you know, tech in the fortress. He's like, oh, I can't because it's destroyed. So he actually blows up what's left of the fortress. The fortress is gone at the end of this. Very, very interesting. You know, big shake-up, and just in terms of Superman.
And that's Zar doing what he wants. He's destroying all remnants of Krypton.
But I also, well, no, it was Clark does this though.
No, I know, but Zar still gets what he wants.
Oh, sure, you know
what I mean?
but he didn't make him do it. Like Clark does this in kind of retaliation. But what another thing I like about Rogol in this issue is that after the sort of the Action 1000 section, he disappears, and Kara shows back up after being like whacked out of the city, and she's like, okay, did we get him? And he's like, no, he got away. It's like, okay, why is he hiding? Did we beat him up enough? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I think he's playing with this. I don't think we hurt him at all. He is totally messing with us right now, and I like that psychological play. I also like the play that Clark knew that he wanted to fight him in the city because Superman would have to hold back. Because at one point Superman says in the narration that if he hits him at full force, it will cause too much. Not even like if he hits him into something, just the force of the punch will ripple and it'll cause buildings to either collapse or it'll whatever. Like that's an interesting idea that he has to hold back because he says I can't hit him at any higher than an 8. Any more than that would cause damage to the city just from the shockwave. So he's playing with a lot of stuff. It's really solid Superman stuff, I think.
So we know that he's also getting a charge from the Yellow Sun because Superman realizes that's what he can use as his edge. That he's not ready for the excess power. Yet this is what Clark was raised in, so he can manage it. And then he hits him with the supernova. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect Zar. Like, if this is a thing where you just overpower him so he can't function, But I am looking forward to a knockout, drag out in the wasteland of the Arctic.
Because Superman, in this next one. Because he uses that to his advantage because he realizes that because he's been powered by the sun, he's actually not used to how much power he's got. So Superman's like, no, I've lived here my whole life. I know how to control my power. So he uses that a little bit in the fight. I think it does raise some interesting questions. It means that Rogol Zar, whoever he is, wherever he came from, he was born under a red sun.
Right.
Could that be Daxam? Is he from Daxam in some capacity?
Yeah.
Or is he even actually Kryptonian himself and for some reason hates the rest of Krypton?
That's what I got. That he has a tie to Krypton because he goes, you knew my father. Clark tells him, and he goes, better than you probably ever did. And something stems this hatred of Krypton. It's never, when it comes to people that hate entire cultures, it's never just one thing. It's never that they just don't like the cut of their jib. There's something down that they see as a threat. And none of the other, pantheon of, the quintessence that we've seen saw Krypton as this threat like Zar did.
I wonder, obviously he doesn't look like a humanoid, and he's humanoid in the sense that he's got arms and legs and whatnot, but he looks so different from Kryptonians and Daxamites that I feel like if he is from one of these places, was he the victim of an experiment or something that changed his appearance and made him like this, or
even if, because I need a history of Krypton to know if they went spacefaring or not, right? Because they've done the whole Kryptonian thing, like, no, they were forced to stay on the planet. Well, no, that's where Daxamites come from. They were, spacefaring Kryptonians that got cut off.
I wonder, because when we first saw Rogol Zar, we mentioned that he had some sort of Doomsday similarities. I wonder, was he like an early Doomsday experiment? Like they were experimenting on a person, and he was kind of like this first prototype Doomsday or something like that?
So I'm feeling like whatever happened to his home planet, let's say, Kryptonians had come there and kind of violated the Prime Directive, that Star Trek's known for, you can't interact, you can't do anything. And even though they didn't do anything personally to him, their presence affected his planet. Because I'm also using the Bendis writing Superman as, Jewish culturally, and Rogol Zar kind of represents the diaspora, them spreading out and constantly being persecuted for everything. And I'm wondering if that's where this is going. Just the Kryptonians being there has been perceived negative by Zar and his people.
Obviously, there's a possibility that he's just from another planet in the same solar system. Yeah. That's always a possibility.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to factor all this in. It could be all completely off.
It could be a different solar system, but given the fact that he has ties with Krypton, he knows Jor-El, I feel like it's more likely to be someone, in proximity. Yeah. It's either another planet in the same solar system, it's Daxam, it's Krypton itself, whatever, but he's from one of these places because he's charged with the Yellow Sun. Unless Bendis throws another wrench in that makes me think something completely different next time. But
exactly. Could be any.
But no, I'm digging it. So Matt, obviously art was good. I thought the art was nice and pulpy. It was like,
I like Maguire. Maguire gives it that feel pre-Jurgens kind of era of Superman.
It almost feels kind of Silver Agey in places. I thought.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, like John Byrne era on Superman. It has that. He's got the square jaw and the spit curl kind of going. And I thought his action was real handled real well. Like the layouts and everything. Like we talked about the lady falling out of the window and Superman saving her. So, but yeah, if I had to rate, this is an 8.5 issue. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I'm about there. I mean, I might even be tempted to go up to the 9. To be honest, I really liked it. And I know, obviously, as with all Bendis books, I've seen a mix of opinions online, and some people hated this issue, thought it was the weakest of the 4, thought the Bendis speak was at its absolute worst. I mean, as someone who likes Bendis speak, I mean,
me too. That's never been. I've never looked at a Bendis book and go, "Oh man, this is too wordy."
Yeah,
but I enjoy. I know it's a problem for some people, like this guy.
Yeah. Certain ginger.
But,
yes.
So. But yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. McGuire, who's on the next issue? Do we know?
I can't remember. No.
Yeah, it's gotta be it. But the Fabric stuff looked great. His Jor-El, like again, I feel stupid for not piecing it together. Like, of course, it was gonna be him. So.
Yeah, I'll critique the silhouette in last issue though, because I said he looked bald, and while he's mostly bald, he does have that big tuft of hair.
He has that hair curl.
Yeah.
But I figure have they done well. They could have gave him kind of a mohawk look, and that would have thrown us even more.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, imagine Jor-El stepped out, but he'd actually gelled up his hair into a mohawk.
Yeah, a little bit. But I feel like they were trying to make us think it was Lex. I mean, the purple and green kind of speaks to it and whatnot, and the baldness. I feel that was just all a red herring. But I'm curious to see if that's where they go. If, he lets Lois and John go because it's for their own safety.